Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me? Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. As you come in, just come on and hit the like button for those that are already here. You all hear me? Hey, Miss Nola or Mr. 504. Welcome, welcome. Hello. So now you get to hear my voice live. Okay, great. I'm glad. Good afternoon, Denise Sellers. Good afternoon, Salima. Good afternoon, Miss Cassie. Come on in. As you come in, just hit the like button. Hello, Elizabeth. Come on in. Good afternoon, P. Harvey. Hello, Kareem. Miss Deborah, good afternoon. Come on in, guys. We're going to have a spirited discussion about all the details leading up to this whole thing with Tim Norman, Miss Robbie, the whole Sweetie Pies franchise, if you will, because I read your comments and I do respond. So, I wanted to just go over some things as far as where we are and um, what's next in this case. So just come on in. Good afternoon, Gwendolyn. Thanks for stopping by. We're gonna wait for more people to come on in, and then we're gonna get started. And I don't have a time limit on this. We'll see how this discussion goes, and if you all like it, we'll continue doing it, at least once a month or something. Again, I am at your service. So for those who are here, I'm sure y'all know that this channel is dedicated to basically putting our stories out because, as you all know, the news sometimes does not lean towards Black stories, stories that have people of color as the subject, if you will. So this story, oh, I see that, Miss Nikki. Um, this story has grabbed our community because we feel like we know these people, right? We feel like they were in our homes on Saturdays and we watched, them basically grow up as far as Andre was concerned and Charles, right? So to see the unfortunate events that took place that resulted in the demise of Andre needs to be discussed because in the Black community, we sometimes have issues that we sweep under the rug. And, we need to discuss it, right? So, introducing myself, I'm Dee Watts, as y'all, know from the channel's name. And as I said, I just, provide commentary on varying topics without all the fluff. I really don't, put my opinion really in the videos that I put out because I want you all to get, the facts, as in the facts from the court documents, which is where I, give you the information from. So that's pretty much it. So the first thing I wanted to discuss is what we saw in the trailer, right? The whole entire reason they say, hello, Miss H2O, welcome, come on in. The reason why they said that this whole thing started was because of the accusation levied against Andre. And that was that he supposedly stole $200,000 from his Robbie, right? And there's a clip that I've, put in some of these videos where it shows like Miss Robbie's home was ransacked. And in the trailer, as you can see, like, things were taken all out of her house and stuff like that. And that is the reason, listed in the court documents that led to what we saw. Now, of course, Andre had done a lie detector test, and he was proven to be truthful in the sense that he was not involved in any kind of heist to take anything from his grandmother. And, um, that was already listed. Now, and that is one thing. Hello, Alex, come on in. And that is one thing I wanted to set straight, because there is this continual discussion, argument, if you will, that, he was somehow suspected of, basically bringing on his own demise. And I don't think there is ever going to be a situation where a young man, it basically deserves anything like that for, just unfounded accusations, right? So that is the beginning. Now, as the news broke, I think it was in September of 2020 or August of 2020, when Tim got arrested, everyone was in disbelief, including myself, because here we are watching these people. Well, were we in disbelief? Put a yes or no in the comments if you actually were shocked. And I did a video showing his family members, Andre's family members, saying that they always knew it was him. So again, we what we see on these reality TV shows, it really isn't. It never is, right? What we what we think it is, or maybe it's just a fantasy that we have, hoping that this is a family that is just loving and kind, and they're all out for each other. But what was that, Deborah? You said cause the way he treated Andre. Yeah, if you watch the series, for those who aren't up to speed on the series, you saw some of the mean ways, right, that Tim treated his nephew. He was very rough with him. There was an incident which led to his firing, as we all know, when he put his hands on the boys. So Tim had some I don't know, unchecked anger directed, that he directed towards these young men, and unfortunately he took it to the extreme, an extreme that none of us would have even thought. We all have uncles, or I have uncles and brothers, and I'm the only girl in my family, by the way. So and my brothers are very protective of each other, and the uncles are that way for my brothers. So the thought of that would never have crossed my mind, and I'm sure for a lot of you that is the same in your family, right? So yeah, I was shocked. Some, Deborah said she wasn't, but I was, because I was like, man, this guy, there's no way. And as this time went on, I was hoping. Now, I do the videos and I talk about, the facts of the case. But as time went on, deep down, I was hoping that it was not true. You see what I'm saying? But as the details kept coming out, and as one by one they turned on, Tim, we realized that, oh my God, this guy really did something egregious when it comes to his own flesh and blood. And it is by far something like from back in the day, like, Abel, Cain and Abel kind of situation. Only in this instance, it's the uncle. Um, Deborah says that Tim was jealous of how close the relationship Andre had with Miss Robbie. And I tend to agree with that comment, because, I think he felt like, okay, I spent 10 years, which is what he got at the age of 16, 17, for committing armed robbery. So he missed out on, his adult life, most, like the prime of his adult life with his mother. Um, and I think he blamed her for that, even though she was not to blame, because again, the choices we make are the choices we make. So, that was his, trajectory that led to, him being distant from his mother for these years. And I'm sure we all know that for those 10 years that he was locked up, his mother did not leave him leave him alone. I'm sure she was in communication with him, probably visited him, quite often. And then we have him coming home and, remember, basically taking advantage of his mother, I would say, um, by opening all these restaurants, with using her moniker, which led to her having to sue her own son. So you're right, Alex. You said that the sad thing is that he felt Miss Robbie owed him something, and it looked that way, didn't it? I don't think he ever seemed grateful throughout the filming. I think he seemed entitled, right? Those are words you can use when you're looking at the relationship he had with his mother. Um, and it never to me, it never looked as if it was enough, right? Like no matter what Miss Robbie did, or anyone for that matter, he was always trying to get more of everything, more money, more notoriety, more all the things. There were, there's a video of him at some protest with a megaphone, and it's like now, what is so shocking to me is that people are just so odd, because knowing, according to the court docs, that he had orchestrated all these things, he was just out and about and living a life free of consequence, it seemed, knowing what he did. And that to me is just like the most scary thing, because this man was just, and those are some of the indicators of someone being a psychopath, to be honest. Ms. Deborah says the main reason she believes that Tim allegedly, yes, we have to use that word, killed Andre, it's because Tim knew Andre was the heir, so Tim would have to split Miss Robbie's estate. Now, yeah, yeah, I didn't think of that, but that also is a reason. But at the heart of it, some people are just wicked, you know. If you hear an accent, I'm from Jamaica, so that's why my words are so pronounced. But yeah, I think he was just, as I think I did a video before this, and I brought up the love of money. All these stories that I bring to you all, you notice that's the what you call it, the inception of all of this, because everybody that I've listed in all my videos, it's always about money, and it has caused quite just discourse amongst family and everything. So it's just sad. Miss Sherry is asking if anyone remembers. Yeah, yeah, and that's what I brought at the end of the last video about his interaction with Jennifer from the Basketball Wives, where none of them are wives, but you know that show. And she said that she was terrified of him and mentioned it. And you know what? When she was talking about that incident, you could actually see the fear in her face. And a lot of people did not believe that young woman. Well, she's not a young, but but a lot of people didn't believe her. But I did, because as much as a lot of those girls on that show are cloud chasers, she didn't strike me as that kind of person. And I thought about just Tim's actions leading up to her accusations, that with his fiance Janae, that was on the show. Remember how he treated her, and he wasn't a nice person overall. And the fact that, as I said before, that he was opening restaurants after restaurants that would fail in his mom's name, knowing that there's a possibility that it would, basically destroy his mother's reputation and eventually cost him said money that he was trying to get. It was like something wasn't clicking, you know? And as Miss Sherry says here, you know, he well, she said the Tim had the mentality of, if I can't have it, no one. Yeah, yeah, exactly. You are right on. I mean, exactly. Because that's the energy he was given. If I can't have it, no one will. And he was willing to destroy everything and everyone in his path to get to whatever it is that he wanted. And unfortunately, Andre Montgomery was, in his path, and he decided to take that young man out. As I read the details of the case, it's just how methodical, you know, he was plotting and planning this thing. And, starting with that insurance agent man, by the way, who has been out, just so y'all know. I haven't done a specific video on him, but he's been out. He works in another state. He can go back and forth. And recently he asked the court to attend a wedding, which he went to, as if, nothing happened. And it's just the juxtaposition between how, we get treated, right? We, as in people who look like you and me. And I hate to, well, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say what it is. How we get treated in the court system as opposed to people of a lighter hue, right? Because, I mean, look at Khalif Broder, the little young boy that, was accused of stealing a backpack in New York back in the day, while I was a kid too. And that boy stayed in prison until, no trial, nothing. And it was just an accusation of stealing something. And then because of the trauma that he experienced I mean, who goes to Rikers? They sent a child to Rikers, and this child ended up, he grew up, got out, and he couldn't deal with the consequence of all the things that he saw and experienced, and ended up killing himself. So this is the thing for me. Like, Wally Yanam, Nelly's whatever old producer, he was involved. He was the one that helped get the money together. He was the one that wrote, wrote the insurance plan. I mean, Andre was what, 18, 19 at the time. And they're putting out like hundreds of of dollars of policy on this young man, on this young man. I mean, it's horrible, right? Like, can you imagine you have your 18-year-old son, you send your child to go live with his other side of family, and they're sitting there putting all this insurance on this kid, and then he just passes away. Now it's just I mean, unfathomable to me. So let me catch you up to speed on what's with the latest on the case. So we know that Travell pled guilty, right? And I gave you the details of the guilty plea. So now we do have the trial, because as my very last video highlighted, is that Tim is not gonna confess. We know this, right? Is anybody out there thinking that Tim is gonna confess? Say yes or no. I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be a resounding no, because this guy has no interest in, giving up the ghost, as they call it. So the trial is set to go. Exactly. See, all of y'all are saying no. So the trial for them is scheduled for, the pre-trial is going to be 1 September, right? So of course, I'm gonna give you all the details. As when the details come in, I will give you all the details. And then, so all of them, what I'm talking about is Tim, his hips, what's her name? Terica, Wally, and Travell. They're all going to be in the courthouse on the 1st of September. And then on the 6th of September, Travell is going to be in court. right? They're going to talk over, his guilty plea, go over all of the notes on that. And then his sentencing will be on the 20th of September. So I think I told y'all he's gonna get up to like life or 20 years or both. And then he has to pay his restitution. Yes, Jackie, I said his hips. You know them. Can't miss them babies. Okay. So they are now a character in this case. So I had a comment that said, oh, I can't take you seriously because you keep talking about that man hips. Listen, like I'm gonna talk about his hips, baby. Okay, so so you're gonna have to get used to. And for the family members who are on this live, y'all know y'all be in my comments talking about that man's hips too. And I cater to my audience, my family. So and you can't miss it. So I'm gonna talk about it. So so yes, the hips, they do lie, honey. So but yeah, back to the subject. So 9:20 is when Travell at 2 o'clock is when Travell is going to be sentenced for his involvement in the crime. And for a lot of these cases, the the person who actually pulled the trigger, they don't get, if you notice, they don't get as much time as the person who actually orchestrated the whole thing. And rightfully so, right? Because without Tim reaching out, well, hold on a second. Hold on. Now, remember, I had done a video and I was asking y'all to put in the comments, who do y'all think was the party that was unnamed in the court docs? Because, yes, in the court documents, they mentioned an unindicted party, right? Who do y'all think that is? Drop in the comments who y'all think that is. I have my idea, but I don't want to say it out loud because, my God, if the person I'm thinking is involved in any way, I'm gonna shut my YouTube channel down and call it a day. Well, I'm not gonna do all that, but I'm gonna be like, listen, I'm gonna take a moment, okay? What Sherry said, Tim will try his best to prolong this trial. Yeah, as long as he can, because it's been like 2 years. My God, like this man has had. Y'all saw the list of attorneys I put on the thing on one of those videos. Like this man has literally been through about almost 10 attorneys in 2 years. Does that make any sense to y'all? Absolutely not. But you know what it is though? A lot of lawyers, they are not willing to risk their reputation for lack of not the Popeyes arms. A lot of lawyers are not willing to risk their reputation for just a win, or no, not even a win, but for notoriety. And in his case, as we go over all the details of the case, this man so guilty. I mean, child, you know, and I read again. I am in these comment sections, as you know, and I read the comments, and there are people there that are still saying, well, he may not have been involved or anything. Um, and I respect your opinion. I really do. But the court documents, these are things that have been filed in a court of law, stuff that I'm sure you can find in time in the you can research it. I mean, I'm not what I'm doing is nothing special. I just bring it to you unedited. You can Google this stuff, and well, not really, you really can't Google it, but you can find these things because again, it is listed in the courts over there in Missouri. So this thing right here is just sad, I would say. um you said, Sherry, you said it makes no sense. Yeah, and let's talk about that. Let's talk about the financial ramifications of what he's doing, right, to his mother. Because as I said, there is no GoFundMe set up, right? Because I'm sure the GoFundMe people would definitely take it down because of what the implication would be for someone trying to get funds for being accused of often, taking the life of their nephew, and he's using the GoFundMe funds for a defense fund, right? So, um, how you know that about Tim's father, Brandy? Huh? I don't remember no episode about that. Y'all read what Brandy said in the comment section. Um, but back to the whole Miss Robbie situation. The money, right? I mean, I know she has a lot of money because of all the businesses, and she's been in business for quite some time. And not only that, she's been around the famous, Tina Turner, Ike Turner, who, let me move on. So she has she has been, in the scene, or in the streets, as I say, for a long time. So she knows her way around, and financially she's secure. So these lawyers that I've brought to you, they're not cheap. These people aren't, lawyers that are just some run of the mill attorneys. These are like what they call high powered attorneys, where they, when you pay for them, you get what you pay for. Now, the last one, the one that he had the longest, that just quit, that guy wasn't cheap either. He's known throughout St. Louis as, the man that can get you off of things. But the fact that after Travell confessed, and this lawyer dropped them papers, a motion to exit the case, that should have been an indicator to Tim to just chill out and just say what he did, and let Miss Michelle Griggs, who is Andre's mother, finally get some peace, right? For the passing of her son. But nope, he's he's making sure that he drags this thing all the way out. Now, some of you agree that that's what you should do, right? When you're accused of a crime, and you're innocent. But if I was accused of a crime and I'm innocent, I want this thing to be, I'll get my lawyer together, and then, I mean, I would go to trial, right? So you can let your story be told. But the trial has been delayed. Listen, for 2 years, there hasn't been a trial. Every time I come to you and I update you, I'm just annoyed, because I'm like, hold on a second. Now we have another delay. And that has been the story of this whole situation. So yeah, that's a good question, Elizabeth. You said who do I think delivered the money to the shooter? Now hold on, now, sis. Y'all ain't about to get me put off of YouTube, but y'all know. Well, Tim's family is very large. Okay, Tim's family is very large, and I'm looking at behaviors. Okay, I'm looking at how Andre has passed. And I have I've seen them mourn temporarily, right? And I'm talking about Tim's side of the family. But the mourning only lasted for, to me, what I saw, a flash in the pan time frame. And everybody went back to life as usual. So, as far as who, because there are two parties mentioned, that one party, the unidentified, well, the unindicted, that's the description the FBI gave to, the courts, the unindicted individual. That person is very close to Tim, right? That person knows them, and that person agreed to turn, as they call it, state's evidence in order to save themselves. And that person is currently free. So it has to be someone Tim trusted. It has to be someone Tim knew very well. And it had to be someone that also knew Andre Montgomery. So y'all do the math, because I have. And I'm just waiting for the next set of court documents to be released for me to come on here and tell y'all something that's going to blow y'all mind. But again, I don't, I'm not a person that comes with all these conspiracy theories. I like to give you all facts because, that's what this channel is about. Our facts, black facts, if you will. So yeah. Deborah, you said Chicago attorney is supposed to be, that's what his thing is. You think it's the insurance guy? Maybe. But as far as his involvement is, initially the first set of court documents, it listed that he was the one that, drew up the papers and but there was no mention of him meeting with anyone to do any kind of monetary transfer. This case is very cut and dry if you look at all of it. It all began, as I said, with they say the whole accusation that Andre stole the money. And then that's what put the ball in motion. Then Tim knew the stripper from back in the day because apparently they were romantically involved. He got her. And then Tim knew of Travell because y'all see that y'all have seen that. Have y'all seen the music video with Tim and Travell in it and the Migos, I think? Yeah. They all, hung around together. So the Migos could people would say the Migos are involved, but they're not. Yeah, I'm sure. So Tim and all of them were together, and that's where he met Travell. And then he had this great idea that, listen, let me call the insurance man and get the ball rolling so I can put some insurance on this young man, right? And he put the insurance up to 500,000. By the way, and I've seen y'all comments. Yeah. Did y'all know that he allegedly had taken out like $1 million insurance on Miss Robbie? Have y'all heard that? Put a yes or no in the comments if you've heard that floating around here on the YouTube universe. Yeah. Yeah, he has always been all about the money. Like, who comes out of prison and immediately wants to put doggone $1 million of insurance on their mama? I mean, come on. Right? Just insane. And then I'm sure, it's to protect you and to protect your fortune and all the things. Wait, hold on a second. Now you saying he put insurance on some of the employees in his restaurant? Deborah? See, I haven't heard that. Angela, you said you feel like Tim would have gotten away with killing Andre. Yeah, absolutely. And that his next target would have been his mother. And you said that you remember in some documents that he said he even talked to insurance agent about insuring the employees. Child. I mean, insane, right? But listen, we are straight up, not we, but the courts are just making it seem as if the insurance man isn't the problem. To me, the insurance man is the problem. Do you agree? Yes or no? That the insurance man should get some, like, he should not have been able to just be coming and going as he pleases. Absolutely, Carolyn. He is a sociopath. I mean, without a doubt. And temporarily, he had gotten away with Andre's murder. He did. With but as far as the financial portion, the insurance companies didn't pay out. They didn't pay out because, like, things were off as far as signatures were concerned. Because when I had initially read the documents and I put a video up about it, it had mentioned that, the insurance companies that he had, and plural, that he had sent out the final documents to, who were wanting a physical for Andre, if y'all recall that. So, I mean, my God. See, thank you, Sherry, the insurance guy. He himself, because don't the insurance agents get like a commission from like the insurance, they write up. Oh, actually, you're right. Whoever said about, you had some time back, you mentioned about the employees. Yes, because the insurance man had said in the documents, if we get this done, Tim had said, well, he's gonna get together more people that he can insure. And you remember there was some talk of the insurance man winning some kind of trip or something like that, if he had accomplished, writing all these insurance policies for people. Yep, you're right. You're right. Absolutely, Nikki. You said they get a commission. Yep, that's right. They do. They do get a commission. So this was all a business, for lack of a better word, of them insuring people and then getting them killed. Oh my God. Like, is this what we're doing? And then let's think about this. How many young Black men have fallen victim to the same scam? Hmm? How many of them? How many young Black women, old Black women, Black folks in general have fallen victim to this kind of scheme? And then how do you even know who's put insurance on you if they can fabricate your signature? But that's for another day. Oh my God. Just the thought of that is just terrifying to me. You know? They say that saying has never been more true, to keep your enemies close. But you don't even, how would you know that your uncle is your enemy? Well, I mean, he acted like he didn't like that boy, that man. So, I mean, geez. And you know what? Andre got what he needed from the family, as in, help, and he graduated high school, we saw. And this man moved on with his life, right? And he was doing his music, as y'all saw. And they tried to, at the time of his passing, they tried to portray him as some kind of thug in the street. And we know, based on what we saw, that's not what he was. His mother put out exactly who her son was on that video that I had put out about, his mother basically speaking about what's going on, you know? And that's what they do. They try to paint this picture of, him being some gangster and basically quote unquote deserving what he got, or living how he, dying how he lived. And that was far from the facts of who this young man was. And fortunately, in Andre's case, we get to correct the wrong that was done to him, as far as his name being tarnished, because there were rumors out there saying that he had a child. Have y'all heard that? Yes or no? Let me know. Oh yes, they were saying that he had a child out there, that he was a gangster and all the things. And I have seen pictures of him. Well, I don't even know, because people can Photoshop stuff. Oh, you did? Yeah, Nikki, I heard. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that, and his mother addressed that in that video I did. Yeah, Brandy, Wally is free. As I said before, he's out on the loose right now, living his life like he did nothing. Must be nice. But yeah, they tried to paint that picture of this young man as if he was, he was deserving of the, of the misfortune that, came knocking at his door. And we all know he didn't deserve any of that. I mean, I just feel like, I continue to do the coverage on this case because, I just feel for his mother, because I know if anything happened to me, my mom would be distraught and she would want justice for me. So I'm doing it, and I'll continue to do it for his mother. because she sent her son basically into her sheepish son, because Andre was just a simple guy, into a den of wolves, and they ate him up. And as sad as it is what it is. You're welcome, Deborah. Wow. You said, Sylvia, you said all employers of all business corporations, from fast food to government, have insurance policies on all employees they hire. In it, oh, okay. Well, I think the employees normally take out insurance policy insurance policies on their own, and they can also decline to have insurance when offered. So, I've never heard of an employer making it mandatory for you to have insurance to be a part of the not of course medical insurance they should offer after a certain time period, but life insurance making it mandatory, is have y'all heard anything like that? I haven't. Um, but they encourage you to get life insurance, but I don't think they force you to do it. Um, but yeah. So let's talk about Miss Robbie real quick. So I continue to give you updates on her, because clearly she, we're here saying I did a video with an update on her, and she did an interview with a magazine, and she was saying that she believes that her son is innocent, and she believes that we should just not even talk about it, and um let the facts yield what they are. But it's been 2 years, and we've done that. And on the day that Tim, well, no, what's his name, Travell, on the day that Travell admitted that yes, he was the one that pulled the trigger, yes, he received contact and money from Tim Norman, yes, Tim was the one that brought him to that place. Tim was the, when Travell made gave us all the details about what we already knew. On that day, Miss Robbie posted on her Instagram something about her performance. um, so I don't know if she's handling. I know she's not handling her page, but um, I'm gonna get to you in a second, Zandra, with your question. But yeah, she, as far as I'm concerned, or what I've seen via Instagram, and y'all can go over there and follow her too. Just search her name. It's Miss Robbie. Let me type it. Just like um, you can follow her on Instagram. Her page is open as we speak. You can see what she's doing, and yeah, she continues to live her life as if nothing is happening. Um, Now, do y'all think that's best? Yes or no? I think sometimes you just got to let it do what it do, as Ray Charles said, or Jamie Foxx, whoever. But because what is she going to do? What can she do? Her own son is accused of killing her grandson. And it's just unthinkable. So um she has continued to live her life unabashed, and she has her performances. She's on she her goal right now is to get to the Grammys and be the oldest woman to win a Grammy. That is her pursuit, and that's all she speaks about. That's all she gives interviews on. um no, whenever she's interviewed by these news stations or whatever, nobody asks about the current situation. And I think she has made sure that, if she does agree to do an interview, that is not mentioned. Yeah. You said that's Miss Robbie's way of coping. Sherry, you said that's Miss Robbie's way of coping with the denial of facing the truth about Tim. A mother will always wear their children's heart on their sleeve, adult or child, and you pray for her every day. Pray for Miss Michelle too, Sherry, because she lost her son. You know, I mean, my God. And you say who gets okay, yeah, and that was my question. You know, because someone has said every all these employers have insurance. Exactly, who gets the money if the employee dies? Well, they're whoever they identify. Normally, when you're an employee at a company and you say you're going to get insurance, you doggone put your beneficiaries on the paperwork. So the beneficiary identified as the recipient of the funds would be getting the money. To answer your question, Brandy. Yeah. And you say, Deborah, you say she's just sending him money on the books for the rest of his life. Well, I mean, is that the responsibility of a mother for her child? Hmm? Some would say yes. If I was a mother, I'd say no, because that's like you're in prison also, if you think about it. Your son made a decision to, do something dumb, and now everybody is going to be, held with, have to face the consequence of one man's action. Oh, what you over there saying, Foxworth? Oh, I see that. You said, I ain't gonna say that loud, girl. Well, I've heard that. Let's talk about it. She said that Miss Robbie's a gangster. I mean, hello now. But I've heard that. A lot of people say that in my comment section. A lot of people say what we see um is not what we think it is. And that's why I said smoke and mirrors, because sometimes we see a lowly grandmother in the church, all the things. And I know y'all have watched all these, some of these shows on ID channel, and these women, they look like they couldn't hurt a fly, but they are vicious. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that about Miss Robbie, but the people who are from St. Louis, who sometimes make comments in some of these videos I post, I have heard that. I have. Now, as far as surprises go, if anything close to that was revealed, child, oh my God. I don't know. I'd have to take like 2 days before I put that video out for y'all, because oh my goodness. I hope not. So yes. So now here we get to the meat of things. You say, Deborah, you say you hope that after the trial, the Andre's mom sues Tim's estate. I don't think any money is left in Tim's estate. I think, and I'm pretty sure, like once this whole thing wraps, there will be no money, because these lawyers sign on to these cases because, one, they know they'll be getting paid, right? And they know the money is there because, is the whole entire family, Miss Robbie's side of family coming together to pay for, to help fund this? I don't know. That restaurant being open, is that a part of the whole, thing to continually pay for his defense? Maybe, you know. Um, but if I had, if I was involved in that family, I wouldn't want to have nothing to do with that man. And someone had asked about Charles earlier. Charles is fine. Charles is, I posted a video and a clip in the video, and he spent Christmas with them, happy, smiling, having a good time. So it's very odd for me, because if my cousin got gunned down, and I have had cousins that, because again, I'm from Jamaica, and I'm from the part that you shouldn't go to, Kingston. Okay. So if you're from Jamaica, you know. Well, certain parts of Kingston, not New Kingston. New Kingston is pretty good. But yeah, you're right. Charles, he does post on Instagram every now and again. And you know what I do notice about Charles is he does have he's very sad. Like his countenance seems to be sad. But I think out of family obligation, he moves with them. You know, he goes and hangs out with them. But yeah, yes, Vanessa, I don't know if you came in late on the discussion, but yeah, we talked about that about Tim putting, was it like $1 million life insurance on his mama, allegedly? Yeah. So, I don't know what this is. And, I've had a lot of people ask, and I've done some research, ladies and gentlemen, about who Tim's father is. And my God, there are so many. Well, I'm not going to listen. There are men that have interacted with Miss Robbie. And I've looked at pictures, like put pictures next to the men. And yeah, I think there were rumors out there. I don't know, and put a yes or no if you've heard this. That now this is allegedly YouTube and the FBI, but allegedly there were some people were saying that there was a striking resemblance to Ike Turner. Um, and I think people were trying to make sense of, that being his father, but we know that's not the case because Miss Robbie had told a story that he had gotten killed, right? That he met his end at the hand of violence, like every man that's ever been around Miss Robbie. So, I mean, that is a thing, I've been tracking and I'm gonna put up a video. Now, y'all don't come for me now, but I'm gonna put up a video about all the men that have been around Miss Robbie and what happened to them. And if you're doing the math in your head, yeah, you're right. Now, again, this video is in no way, or this live is in no way an accusation of, Miss Robbie's character, because again, what I have seen on TV and, from interactions with this woman, as far as, her being in these, at the restaurants and greeting people and being just so warm and lovely, from what I've seen, she presents as a good woman, a decent woman who has had a series, a series, way too many series of unfortunate events when it comes to men, right? I mean, but then again, things happen. No, and you're right. No one. I don't think anyone. You said, Leslie. You said maybe Miss Robbie can't speak on the case because is going to court soon. But why not speak about Dre and send love to his mother? Yeah, I've often wondered that, but I think maybe she does it in private. Let's hope that maybe she sends the condolences and the words of encouragement to Miss Michelle in private, right? But it to me, I haven't seen anything like that. And then when Tim got arrested, Andre's whole family came on were on Facebook and Twitter. Just listen, they were dragging that whole family. You understand me? And I didn't put that stuff up there because it was vulgar, because of the things they were saying. However, I had put up a video and I think I had screenshot just a little bit, and someone who was from their family commented on my video and said that the picture of Miss Robbie and the what they had said was not directed at her, but at Tim. So I think the family, Andre's side of family, his sisters and his brothers. They don't have any beef as far as I can see at that time with Miss Robbie and her people. But I mean, now I'm pretty sure it's heavy. But I don't think anybody in the family on both sides can really say anything because again, it's an ongoing investigation slash trial that's about to start. So we'll never hear them speak now unless you know them personally, right? And if I was in the family, Andre's family per se, I wouldn't say anything either because I'm just waiting for this trial to wrap and for the guilty verdict to be handed down, right? And then, like most people do, you go and you file that civil suit so you can get compensated financially for your loss. And that's exactly what I do. So I suggest if you are a fan of Miss Robbie, you go on out there and get you some of that chicken right now because as soon as this thing is wrapped, it's going to be called Miss Michelle's chicken joint. Okay? Because listen, if I was Andre's mom, I'm getting paid for the pain that I have gone through and somebody paying, right? Well, maybe that's just me. So do y'all have any oh, wait, someone said she never did marry any of them. Well, for a lot of women, marriage isn't that big of a deal. So maybe she's one of them women, you know? Um yeah. But what it looks like to me is just Miss Robbie she has gone through a lot in her lifetime, right? I mean, man, when I think of a grandmother, my grandma ain't go through nothing like that. Uh, she, I mean, yeah, there were trials and in social situations as far as the whole racism thing, but which is equally horrible. But as far as my grandma's personal life, there wasn't that much death surrounding her, and that's what just baffles me about this whole situation, because it seems like every man that's been around in her presence, they don't walk out of there. Or if they do, they walk out in handcuffs, as in the case with Tim Norman. But I digress. Well, hold on now, Brandy. Hold on. And I've heard that too. Well, Brandy, I'm gonna leave your comment up there. You better take that thing down, girl. They'll find you. Okay. But you never know. You never know. You never know. But yeah, I think we've, do y'all have any additional questions of me as far as the case where we are right now? We're just waiting for the trial to start, which will be um 1 September. So of course I will bring you the highlights of the trial so you will know what's going on. Um and I'll let you know who's there in the courthouse supporting this whole thing. Of course, Miss Michelle is going to be there, and Andre's family will be in the courthouse. I'm sure Miss Robbie, she's going to be there. So yeah, but we'll talk about it, and listen. As you all see, Miss Robbie is looking better and better. Okay, like face is snatched, makeup is on point, like she is doing her life, she's living her life. So I think what she's done is like compartmentalize the whole situation and have moved on as far as that whole thing. And yes, she's lending probably some financial support, allegedly, let me say these things, to her son. But I don't think she's mentally attached to the whole situation. Um and wow, it's a lot though. Like if you think about, like, the start where we saw Andre Young in high school graduating, and then on an episode we see everybody crying, and they cut to a scene of Miss Robbie crying, saying that this, he's dead, and then remember the church scene, well, the little gathering scene where they were trying to find out who killed him and all the stuff, and Tim sitting right there. Oh my God. Like he did, like, not, and he's there. But let me tell you what made me stop and think. I went back and I looked. If do y'all remember that episode when the episode that Andre got murdered? And y'all remember when Tim was sitting giving his interview, right? And he was talking about Andre's death, stone face, nothing. And then he got all choked up when he spoke about his cousin, hearing that his cousin had passed when he was in prison. Y'all remember that? And he was crying about that. He got a little sentimental about that. And I was like, hold on a second. I thought he was upset over Andre. But then I replayed it. I'm like, he's upset over his cousin, but apparently him and that cousin, they grew up together. So yeah, yes, Deborah. So it's like that part just stuck to me, and now we know why he wasn't as upset when it came to Andre's passing, huh? I mean, I'm telling you, everything just played itself out, didn't it? Unbelievable. Just you said they need to have bulletproof vest. Well, oh my goodness, I don't know. You say you think Tim's father was married? Well, you know, I've heard that too. I've heard that too. But again, remember Miss Robbie told us that Tim's father is on the other side, allegedly. So he is not with us. Now, as far as her oldest son, um Andre Sr., when I was doing the math about, his marriages and the timing of the birth of, Andre's dad, there seems to be some overlap. Let's just say that. So, but again, we're not here to accuse Miss Robbie of anything because she has nothing. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but she is not the topic of discussion. Maybe we'll do another live talking about Miss Robbie. But Tim is the problem here. You said, will the shooter testify at Tim's trial? Of course he will. Of course he will. Once you turn state, once you, let me stop using those codes like I'm a gangster. Um, once you do a plea agreement, that's the correct terminology. Once you do a plea agreement and you decide to say, what the details of a case, you are also subject to being on the stand and testifying, um, for the prosecution. Now that you have admitted your involvement in the case, so yes, Travell will be on that stand, and he will be testifying against, well, not against, but he'll be saying his piece about, his involvement and Tim's and whoever else, okay, wink, wink, is involved in this whole case. So, yep. But this was fun, guys, right? Having a nice little conversation with y'all. I hope you had a good, well, I wouldn't say a good time, but I hope you all enjoyed just, talking about this case and us getting the facts out there, because quite often a lot of people come in the comments and they're like, Tim killed his brother, right? Remember I did that video I think a week ago about Tim, whether or not Tim could be, you're welcome, Nikki. But you remember I did that video about where Tim was and the whole involvement with, at least the accusation as to whether or not he was involved in the death of his brother. Now that is some true Cain and Abel stuff, right? Can you imagine if he was the one that had something to do with that and then turn around and kill that man's son? Like, come on. That'd be crazy. So, but I mean, as according to the numbers, the math, In this case, for me, the math was mathing. And he was, he was miles away. Not like, you can't send a hit somewhere. Again, I am no expert, FBI, but I got to put that out there because they listening. Um, but he was a kid and he was busy doing other nefarious things. So yeah, I don't think, based on the details and the information that I have, that he had anything to do with that man's demise, his older brother's demise. But as we found, he skipped a generation and went to his son, his nephew, which is just unimaginable, right? Wow. So if I think Terica is going to come clean, Terica already came clean. Remember? She was the first one to talk. Terica was like, listen, I got my little baby at the house. I'm trying to get home. Now, as far as what she's going to get, like how long she's going to get, I don't know. And that's what the trial is about, because I think, again, she didn't plead. She didn't, you know what? I don't think she had a choice. I don't think they presented her with a plea. You see what I'm saying? Because she's already admitted her involvement. So you said, where's the physical evidence against Tim? Oh, I don't have it in my house, but the FBI got it. Hapen. Okay. And we all know this is something we know in the community, right? When the feds come at you, they have this thing sold up, right? Like this is no rocket science here. Hapen. When the feds come a knocking at your door, not the local police officer or Officer James down the street, but when agent so and so comes and says, "Hey, I need to talk to you," and they put you in cuffs. Listen, they got you, baby. Okay. They're like they're the IRS. Like, you can't, they work with them. They are the IRS. Like, you can't go and say you're not going to pay your taxes. You can say that, but there's a consequence to that. So yes, you can fight them all you want, but they have these things. They have you recorded, which they're probably recording this right now. So we got to be careful in the comment section. And you know, uh, no, the trial won't be televised because, you know, it's not. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm gonna be there, but they're not going to televise this trial because it's not O.J. Simpson versus America. Okay, this is Tim Norman out of St. Louis, Missouri, versus the USA, which is what the case is titled. But this has been out of the public spotlight for about 2 years now. So, it's not going to be televised. But Sherry, you say, how much cleaner can she come? Yeah, she can't. There's nothing else as far as Terica is concerned. There's nothing else that she can say that is going to be like, maybe I don't know, that's going to give her a plea. But just believe this: when it comes to you making a plea agreement, what they do is they listen to, first you tell them, your lawyer tells them what you got, and they decide whether or not it's worth you, um, you know, worth a plea or not, worth you getting a plea agreement. So in her case, what she discussed with her attorneys and what they told the prosecution, that was not anything that they didn't already know, because we know that they knew quite a bit. And that's Tim tried to do some kind of Hail Mary when you remember when I posted about him trying to get his phone thrown out. Remember that little debacle? And invoking his Fourth Amendment rights, where he said he was violated or whatever because they searched him when they shouldn't have, and yada yada yada. But we've come to find out that that cop that was involved, because they were trying to say, that cop is always violating people's civil rights, which maybe he was. um but it didn't, they're not gonna they wouldn't have thrown the phone out. And even if they did, they had other things, because I have the list of evidence, which I didn't post here, but the list of evidence that they have against him. That's why I'm saying to you, if I'm seeing this stuff, right? And I'm just a third party who is bringing this content to you guys. The family is seeing this, okay? Miss Robbie is seeing this, okay? So if they seeing this, and I'm talking that way because I want y'all to get the point. If they're seeing all of this, they know what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So the con for the con for the constant rhetoric about let's leave it to God, or let's pray. Like, come on, what are you talking about? That's what I'm saying but I'm not saying that in the videos that I put out, because I'm seeing like sheets of evidence that they have. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, if I'm seeing this stuff, because again, this stuff is public record. Because when you do bad things in the dark, it comes to the light, right? So I see these things and I'm like, come on. Like, what y'all talking about? Talking about y'all, oh, let's not be quick to judge and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. I'm not a judger. But when I look at facts, I make, like there's a summarization that comes of it. And in this case, this man is guilty. Now, if they figure out a way to make him unguilty, well, baby, we got OJ number 2, honey, allegedly, because OJ claimed he didn't kill nobody, right? But but if they get this man off, we have found us a new Johnny Cochran, baby. Okay? For sure. If they get this man off. And it would have been worth all the money for those who are invested in this man coming home. But don't be mistaken. People don't change their patterns. And they say a leopard doesn't change their spot. And if he gets to come home, you better believe within a year or two, somebody ain't going to be here. Okay? And it's not going to be him, because people don't change, obviously. He was in jail for 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. 10 years. And you are locked down for that long. And you come out here and do something like that? I mean, come on, man. Right? For me, he does not need to be out here amongst the free. Because how many people have gotten out of prison? And I'm not saying, because some people get out, some people are one, as we know, for us, Black people. We are like the category of people that are always accused. And, we 20 years later, you see on the news, oh, this person was wrongfully accused and all the things. But for this one right here, mm-mm, mm-mm. Keep him in there. Because it's for everybody that's around him, I believe, their safety. Because we mentioned this before, we were talking about this before for those who are new here. And if you just came in, remember to hit like on the thingamajig. We have 135 people on here and only 87 likes. So if you haven't liked the video, could you? I'd appreciate it. But I mean, come on. Oh, you're welcome. There's no reason why he should be around regular folk, because he'll never change. There's no incentive for him to change. None. Because as we see, he is coddled. And I'm sure y'all would agree. I mean, he came home, he got a business, he became a manager, he had all the things that people work years and years to get, and it still was not enough. It wasn't enough. There is some kind of, he's broken somewhere inside, but that's not for us to fix. Right? Sherry, you said some people get institutionalized and continue going back. to prison. Yeah, and we see that quite a bit. We see that quite a bit because of the, it's just like being in the military. When you've been a part of that life for quite some time, you become indoctrinated into being that person, right? My brother was in the army, and he still acts like he's in the army. Like he really, like, the way he cuts his hair, the way he moves in society, he still behaves that way. So it's like, and now for in his case, it's a good thing because he's a structured man. He takes care of his family, and he's very neat and organized. But not everybody takes that from training, if you will. Some people go the opposite way, and in his case, we see that he has gone the opposite way. Leslie, you say the feds arrested your younger brother. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Is he out or is he still in? Wow. Yeah, I mean, some people aren't, they're never going to change. And we have to accept that in life. You know? That's right. Leslie said that once they get you, they have pictures of you. They do. And that's what I'm telling you all about the evidence. They have pictures. You see what I'm saying? So it's like this whole thing about, let's let go and let God. Sometimes, God's sitting up there saying, like Nene be saying, now how I get into it? Okay. Now how I get into it? Because man, I'm telling you, sometimes, people, humans, we make decisions on our own. And, it wasn't influenced by any evil or good. We just did it. Now, as far as the consequences are concerned, we have to pay we have to pay for the consequences. Of course, you can always go and ask for forgiveness, but at the end of the day, it was your choice. And that's why God gave us freedom of choice. Now, what we do with that is up to us, right? Oh yeah, that's what I spoke about that earlier, Deborah, when Tim beat up Charles and Andre, and he got fired. Yeah, he was bringing that way of life that he learned, because can you imagine? Think about it. He was 17 when he went to a maximum security prison. He was a child. Those are the men that raised him. So it's like, and let's think about it. The things that he must have seen and done. I mean, 17. He was tall, but he didn't have the body he got now when he was 17. And if you got a brother or a sister or a child that's 17, think about the mentality of a 17-year-old in a prison of murderers and the worst society has to offer in some cases. And they're locked up and they're, the barbaric things that, we hear that goes on. So, if Ms. Robbie thought he was going to come out and be some without even, because we don't see an episode where he went to therapy, right? Put a yes or no. No, right? There was no episode where he went and sat on a couch and spoke with a professional about his experiences. And that is what's missing. Because, as much as people make fun of therapy and all the things, it's good to sit and talk with a person who is not involved. Um, and tell them your feelings and get that out, and if need be, get you some medication to level out what's going on in your head. And we never saw that. So he never got any kind, and we never see him go to church, right? Hi Trick Mama, thanks for coming. We never see him go to church. Oh, he went to therapy. What was he talking about? How to get money? um, but yeah, it's like, we need these things. We never saw him. As a matter of fact, we never saw any of them. Did they go to church? You said refresh your memory. Oh yeah, so he first went to prison. Miss Sherry. Miss Sherry asked, when did he go to prison? He first went to prison when he was 16, turning 17. He was accused of um, robbery, aggravated. He had a weapon, and he ended up getting time for that, 10 years. So at the end of the 10 years is when we catch the series starting with Miss Robbie, and he came home, and we saw him get the world from his mother. She gave him the world, and now hold on, Leslie. We ain't gonna bring no none of them conspiracy theories here in the comment section about OJ and what we all think. The thing is, OJ free as we speak, and they can't do nothing about it because they have tried. Okay, so, but yeah, what we saw was a family embracing a man that was gone for quite some time. Um, oh, he did. Brandy, you said Tim. Did y'all know that he was accused of kidnapping someone? I haven't heard that. But yeah, what we saw was a family embracing a man coming home from being locked up, and his mother basically giving him the world, and he turned around and put allegedly tried to take out $1 million worth of life insurance on her. So the cost of his actions, yes, will yield him getting life in prison, because they, as y'all saw immediately, as they picked up everybody, there was a negotiation happening immediately saying that they were going to take the death penalty off the table. So he should be glad. They should be glad, because every single one of them were facing it. It was going to be a capital murder trial. Did y'all know that? But their attorneys argued for life in prison. So they could have been sentenced to death, but you know that prayer worked, I guess. And it's amazing how they had you know they had consideration for them, but in the end, he didn't have consideration for his own nephew, allegedly. You know, and I just wish they were gonna televise this trial, because we need to see stuff like this. As far as our community is concerned, so it can be a deterrent, right? So it can be a deterrent for those who may want to consider doing something like this. That there are consequences to making dumb decisions, because this is what this was. It was stupid. Because I don't know how you think, if you're gonna get away with killing somebody when everybody knows. Too many people were in on the plot, right? It was a lot of people. You got the insurance man, you got the stripper, you got you got his hips, you got you got all these people that were involved in trying to take out one little young man. And then you got all these things. You got the phones, you got the email communications, you got the transcripts of what you said, you got on your phone. It's like it was too much. Like it wasn't tied up. It wasn't tied up in a bow. And you thought, hey Geraldine, welcome in. And you thought that you were going to just get away with that. And then it just didn't look right. You're flying around on jets. You're in your clothes, dripping, as they say, with Versace and Gucci and all the things that they think make you look wealthy, which is the opposite, by the way. And then you think that you're not going to bring attention to yourself. And I think that's what caused his downfall, if we're honest. He was doing too much, right? He was doing entirely too much. You're opening a restaurant in Mississippi. You're opening one over here. You got a drive-through restaurant over here that does burgers. You got this going on. And it's like, what is going on with this man? Exactly. And the insurance policies is the amount. It was too much. Why would you put an 18-year-old, you're putting $500,000 worth of life insurance on a child? Really, if you think about it. And you think that wouldn't bring attention to you? I mean, it was just it's like an episode of, like some practical joker or something. you know and then he was in prison for a while. I'm pretty sure you had somebody in the prison telling him, all right, man, let's do this, that, and the third. Because you know how, a lot of guys in prison, they're lawyers. You can't tell them they don't know the law. So so he listened to that, and he listened to himself at the end of the day. And it turned out that it cost that little boy his life, that young man his life. And I'm glad that his Tim's let's talk about his ex fiance slash ex baby mama, Janae. Isn't she smart that she took her boy and ran? Y'all remember her? Y'all remember her, right? And she was a beautiful girl, lovely woman, educated. And she would give him a hard time when it came to, him taking the little one away and stuff like that. Because if listen, let's talk about this thing right here now. Let's talk about it. And I'm gonna put it out here. If he would do this to Andre, baby, right? If he would do this thing to Andre, what is stopping him from doing it to his own flesh and blood? Let's talk about it. Put a yes or no in the comments. Put a 1 for yes if you believe that he would take out his own child, and a 2 for no. I'm gonna wait. Let's talk about that real quick. Do you all think that Tim, the hippie one, would take out his own child? 1 for yes or 2 for no? We got a 2, but the majority of y'all so far have put a yes. Because listen, Andre was just an innocent child when he met this man, right? Yeah, I agree with all of y'all that are saying a 1. And a mother knows. Like, moms have an instinct when it comes to their children, right? They have an instinct. And the way Janae was fighting for her son when it came, when it came to him being around Tim, I see that. And yes, we remember that maybe y'all don't know, but she and Miss Robbie got into it, by the way, on Instagram, over, the visitation and her not allowing her son to go over there by them. But think about it. Would you, if you were a mother, if you were Janae, after you know what's going on in that family and have witnessed and probably had an inkling that Tim had something to do with Andre's death? Because mouths, people be talking, right? Yeah. So now we see why Miss Janae has completely pulled herself away from that family, got married, and is living her best life, doing personal training, and has a body that Candy be singing about, with legs and hips and body. That's what that's what Janae has going on. Okay. So yeah. And none of this stuff I'm saying is any kind of conspiracy theory or anything. This is all factual stuff. Um, And you're right. Tim, he didn't like Janae because she was hip to the game. And, a lot of people thought she, because I used to hear people call her bougie and all the things. Yes, so what if she was bougie? But she was doing all of that to protect her son. Now, as far as her son is concerned, he's being raised by Janae's her husband now. Now, do you all think he should go see Tim or anything while he's in jail? Um, yeah, no. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. That son need to live his life and not be involved with Tim at all. Because listen, people can do stuff from prison too, honey. Okay? Them walls do not keep evil away from you. So let's pray for for the safety of that child, and let's hope let's hope that he gets to grow up and not have the whatever that thing is that's in that family jump to him, because what they call the generational curse. Is there such a thing? I think that, our families sometimes set the precedent for how, our life path may be, but we can always break that, right? And I think the best way to do that sometimes is to stay away. And in this little boy's case, he needs to stay away. But we've been on here for an hour and 31 minutes. And I thoroughly enjoyed having this discussion with you all. And I think we need to make this a thing, right? Yes or no? Let me know. And, we can talk about other things. We can talk about other cases. One of them, I was going to do a video, but I think we should do a live discussion on this. Y'all seen, what's his name? Danny Glover. Danny Glover running around with some little young thing. We should talk about that on the next one, because my God, I saw that and I was like, my subscribers would love to talk to I was gonna do a video, but I was like, we gotta talk about this thing right here. Because my God, like, we got Morgan Freeman messing with his alleged granddaughter. Now we got Danny Glover messing with some young, for young as in his case, because I think he's like 70 something, almost 80. And she's in her 30s or something ridiculous. This new lady he has left his wife for her. But anyway, that's for another day. But I thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you all on this Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're not subscribed to my channel, um, these young girls, listen. We should talk about that. We should talk about the young girls and these old men, right? Because it's out of hand, baby. And I just laugh when I see it, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I'm what they consider young as well, but I'm like, girl, you got a stomach on you, because there's certain things I will not do, honey. Okay. But again, to each his own. I'm not a judger of people, because we got a whole God that does all that. And let him do what he does. He judges in the way that he feels fit. But we can talk about him now. Okay. Oh my goodness. But hey, so if there's any developments between now and September, I'll definitely discuss it with you all, make a video, or we may do another live, because as I said, this was fantastic. I had a wonderful time with you all. Um, and yeah, I think that's it. Any questions before we go? Hmm? No? You're right, Danny. Yes, that's what I should title the video. Danny Glover and his sugar baby. Oh baby, it's not alleged, honey. No, there are photos of Danny Glover frolicking, baby, frolicking in the ocean, posing for the gram because these young girls, honey, they want the picture. So there are pictures of him looking a fool. And I just love to see it. But love is love, as they say. And I love love like everybody else. But thank you all for joining me on this Sunday. Um, I'm gonna have some dinner, and yeah, make sure y'all come back when the next time I go live, so we can have these discussions. Because, as I said, I thoroughly enjoyed this interaction with you all. Um, yeah, so that's all I have. If there's nothing else, goodbye and have a wonderful evening. And we can communicate. My Instagram and everything is linked in the bio. And a lot of you all ask at the end of the videos that I have this song that I play, like a clip. That's from a cat from TikTok. He's a musician, and I follow him on TikTok. And he gave out the sound and said, you can use it, and I fell in love with it. And a lot of you have. So if you want to, you can just click the description box of the videos when I put them up. If I use that at the end of the videos, and it'll list who is playing the music. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Bye, Brandy. Bye, Leslie and Foxworth, Miss Trick Mama, and bye, Royal Juke Box. Thank you so much. All right. Goodbye, y'all.